You know how some places are harder to get to than others? This isn't one of them. Damascus, Virginia. A quiet little town nestled in the mountains of southwest Virginia with a storied history. Known for the Virginia Creeper Trail. No, not that kind of creeper. The 17-mile section of the trail from White Top Station to Damascus is a popular bike trail. Since over 150,000 people ride it every year, it must be nice. I don't know, I've never done it. Damascus is also known by hikers worldwide for trail days. Basically a big old one-weekend hiker party where the town looks more like a post-apocalyptic tent city without the apocalypse. When there are no festivities, the town's a little more empty. But we're not here for the town. We're here for this, the shortest tunnel in the world. In 1901, the 26-foot-long tunnel was drilled through the rock, and a railway line was laid to Crandall, Tennessee, for lumber operations. However, after the line was built, they found that the tunnel was not tall enough for the train's smokestack. I wonder how they found that out.
I swear I can fix it.
Part of the tunnel was then carved out by hand, which gives it the distinctive shape we see today. In 1909, the railway was extended another 6 miles to Shady Valley. But in 1918, the Tennessee section was abandoned when the lumber supplies ran out. The Virginia side continued to operate until the 1920s by the Smithport Extract Company. And in just a few short years, the rails were removed and it became State Route 133. Sometime in 1941, there was even an ice cream and snack shop. I wish it was still there. Well, enough history. It's time to explore.
These steps and trails were made by the Civilian Conservation Corps back in the 1930s, and I believe it was these fellows right here who were the ones who actually did it, if I've got my research right. I promise they're really not that bad. These steps are super deceiving.
They're really not that bad.
You get to the top of the steps. That way it goes on the rock. That way is a hiking trail. And it actually connects to the Appalachian Trail. Nice. There were no handrails when I was here last. Well, the one side's got them. Just a side note, this is where I did my first rappel when I was 16, and that was, I'm not going to say how many years ago that was. I don't think you want to fall from there. Everybody seems to come up from the parking lot side over there, come to the end of the rock, and then go back that way to get down again. But there are steps off this end that go down too. Way it's thick up here with all these little side distractions. A lot of people miss the spot where the steps are on this end. Not that way. It's that way. Big pine tree, cool roots, other steps down. At the bottom of this side, you're greeted with this. You know, you see trash and people are like, you should respect the environment. No, you should respect other people because they want to enjoy it. In a man-made structure like this, where, you know, name carvings I find are okay. Here the names just add to the history. Of course, there are numerous trails, paths, that lead you back to the creek. Any path, we've got to check where it goes. Well, it goes a whole lot of nowhere. Did I mention the rocks around here can be slippery all the time? This is obviously a spot the CCC built back in the day, the Civilian Conservation Corps, when they turned this into a recreation area. But you have to wonder sometimes why they did it that way. I mean, this has got these steps here and this big stone wall that's circular. But I'm willing to think that back in the day, before these trees were grown up, it was a beautiful overlook of the river at one point. And they probably had a couple of picnic tables up here. But over there, yeah, it's not going anywhere. You need a spot to tie off. Have I ever mentioned that I'm not really fond of heights? It's okay, it makes me extra cautious. Oh, I'm excited to get over these waterfalls. They're not far, and who doesn't love a waterfall? It's been so long since I've been up here, I forgot about this. Not a bad little natural shelter, except for one thing. Rattlesnakes have been known to be in this area. I've personally seen them around here. So, keep that in mind. And yes, I've taken the long way, which isn't long. And I'm going to take the trail from above the falls down to the bottom, which then leads back to the road. And yes, everything's wet and slick today. So all these trails here were built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s when they turned the area into a recreational area. So they are quite old and missing spots here and there. It does look kind of like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I think a log less line is called for. These rocks are covered in moss and slippery. You know, those Google reviews are kind of funny. I read one comment said, you can't get to the base of the falls. Were they even talking about these falls? Yep, that there's pretty nice. Wouldn't want to come here on a weekend. Jeez. So I intentionally came in the middle of the week after the school year started so that there wouldn't be too many people. Apparently I was wrong. There's quite a few people here. I'm not the only one enjoying the place. There are other people too. You have to respect that. And I'm not going to be one of those people making a video that disturbs everybody else. I swear there was like 16 cars down here. I get to the bottom and they all just disappeared.